Hey guys, Phillips here. This video is going to be on the Zookeeper Demon Hunter, or at least my variation of it. There's going to be a lot of different variations of the same principal idea. Basically it's just built around the 4-piece Marauder, which gives you all of your companions, as well as the Cloak of the Garwolf, giving you, 2 additional wolves for a total of 3 wolves, and stacking physical modifiers on the gear. So this is the spec. Got the multi-shot for the AoE and the primary hatred dump. It's going to generate discipline, which is going to fuel the punishment to maintain the multi-shot spam, as well as casting the sentries. Got the impaling bolt for the AoE. It's one of the only sentries that has really effective AoE. The rapid fire with the fire support for the single target. So there's a lot of AoE between the pets and the sentries and the multi-shot. The rapid fire works for the single target. Got the action shot on the vault for the damage and mobility. Again, punishment for the hatred, and then obviously the pets, companions for the pets. Got Call of Week for the damage amplifier. Again, there's going to be some options here. Don't necessarily need to run this combination. There's a lot of flexibility on the passives. Sometimes I might run Tactical Advantage here. Just kind of depends on what I'm doing. Night Stalker is also pretty good if you need the resources. Steady Aim for the damage. Perfectionist for the survivability. Blood Vengeance for the resources. So that's what the spec looks like. It is a pretty gear intensive build, so you do need a lot of items to make it effective, including the Marauder 4-piece. And I would like to have multi-shot instead of rapid fire on the helmet and the boots, but I ended up with rapid fire as the best thing that I could get. So yeah, you do need the Marauder, and Calamity is doing really well with the mark for the 20% damage bonus. The Bombardier's Rucksack, the 2 additional sentries, that one's doing well. And on the items that you can't get multi-shot, I would like sentry damage. So like the quiver, you want the sentry damage on the shoulders. Could go for sentry damage, or cooldown reduction would be nice as well. So cooldown reduction is actually pretty strong with this build. It helps the sentries cast faster, as well as cast the companion more often. So you got the Marauder, the Calamity, you got the Ring of the Grandeur to reduce the set pieces. What I would like to do is the Andariel's helmet. So I would have the same setup that I have here. This would be an Andariel's helmet with the physical damage, crit chance, multi-shot damage, and dexterity. For the gloves, definitely want to get the Tasker and Theos. This is going to increase the effectiveness of your sentries as well as all of your pets. Really strong item here. Cloak of the Garwolf, this is going to be a staple item as well. The Harrington is really strong on the higher torment. This one's pretty much the best belt you can get. And the SOJ with the physical damage. Reaper Wraps for the resources, more physical damage, and the Amulet, again, just physical damage. You want crit chance, crit damage, pretty much the same stats as always. And the Rakoff's Glass is doing really well. Sometimes I use the Poison Absorb, sometimes I use the Rakoff's. It helps with the resources. Definitely a really good amulet. So that's the loot, that's the build. Like I mentioned, the cooldown reduction is good to have, so I do Paragon spec into cooldown reduction, as well as I use the gem. And I have some resource reduction also, so it helps to sustain. So let's look at the build and the gear. Now let's show it in action a little bit. I'll talk about the idea and the technique. So what you want to do, you want to start with the Sentry, go ahead and get that cooldown started, and then spam the multi-shot. You know, hit the sentry on cooldown, use the pet active. When you're low on hatred, use punishment. Drop the sentries. You kind of want to pull the monsters into the sentries that you already have. That way you don't have to keep casting new ones. And it works out reasonably well to kind of kite them into more monsters while you drop the sentries. So you just kind of pull them, spamming the multi-shot, cycling the resources, and dropping the sentries while you're moving. And with the Harrington, you want to make sure that you click on stuff as much as possible. And, I mean, you can see I just kind of run around, spam the multi-shot to aggro everything, and then kind of pull them into the sentries. And you use the active pretty much every time you can. So what kind of pylon we got? Speed pylon. Spawn another elite. Just gotta make sure you keep moving, and it works well to kite the monsters into more monsters. You do have to be careful that you don't get overwhelmed, but there's a lot of AoE in the build, so it is more effective to kind of have a lot of stuff going on. It looks like we got a legendary over here. And I guess a couple things worth mentioning. You are running Cull the Weak, and you only have a few options for slows. You got the spider with the active ability from the pets, and I'm also using the Templar with, I'm supposed to be using Intimidate for the slow. Whenever he hits, it's going to proc the Cull the Weak. And also the Essa Johann proc on his necklace, so whenever this procs, it's also going to slow. So it's pretty good uptime on the Cull the Weak. I mean, you can see it's pretty obvious when they are slowed, and it is quite effective. Even without like an active source of slow, still get really good damage from the Cull the Weak. So here we have the Rift Guardian. This is where the rapid fire comes in and makes the kill a lot faster. So it hardly uses any resources, and it puts out a good bit of damage. Combined with all the sentries, pretty decent DPS considering it's T6. Rift Guardian. And you just want to make sure that you keep up. You can have 4 sentries, 2 from the quiver, and there's another legendary. 2 from the quiver, 2 from the ability, so you want to make sure you keep up your 4 sentries the whole time. And just kind of spam the rapid fire on him. Use your active. Whenever you're low on hatred, use punishment. Pretty standard. So there you go. Just one more look at the spec. You know, like I said, there's going to be some flexibility here, especially in terms of the passives. Depending on what you're farming, you might want to run some different things. So, you know, the physical is doing pretty well. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you have fun with this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.